Hello everyone, hope you all are doing great and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we are going to be talking about PhotosPicker, a native way of basically launching PhotosPicker in SwiftUI4. So this feature was introduced in iOS 16 and WWDC 2022. And today we're going to be seeing how we can basically use this component inside our app. So we're going to be building a practical example to see all the scenarios that can be covered basically for the use cases of this PhotosPicker. Now before we go into the video itself, I want to actually highlight that if you haven't check out DevTechie.com. There is a lot of resources related to SwiftUI, UI kit, your overall iOS development on the website. These courses are there, and these are this is the best way to support DevTechie.com and for all the content that we produce. So please check it out, and once you are on the website, go ahead and subscribe to our newsletter. We sometimes send newsletters with new components or new stuff that we actually have released on our website. For example, it's either a video course, some promotions about free access to the course for a few days, early access and stuff like that. We also have a community blog where you can join and read about and learn about new things. So this is a blog that has more than 100 entries. So I would highly recommend you checking it out and joining it. So please do that. There's a lot of content, like I said, for you to consume and make you master in SwiftUI and iOS development in general. Okay, with that said, let's go ahead and go into the video, the topic for today. Okay, so like I said, we're going to be talking about PhotosPicker, which is the most Swifty or SwiftUI way of launching Photos library. Before iOS 16, this was possible, but it was possible using PhotosPicker view controller, which lives in UI kit world, and in order to bring it to SwiftUI, you'd have to use UI view representable or UI view controller representable. So that was the way to do it. But starting iOS 16, you have a native control that actually makes it all possible to launch a PhotosPicker in SwiftUI directly. Okay, so for that, first thing you need to do is import PhotosUI. Okay, PhotosUI is basically where this component or this view lives. Okay, and the view is called PhotosPicker. Before we actually start using the PhotosPicker, we need to have something that holds the user selection. So that thing is basically going to be a state variable. So we're going to create a state private var selected item, and this is going to be of type PhotosPicker item. We're going to make this optional because initially the value is going to be null. Nothing is selected by the user. But as soon as the user does select, this property is gonna get populated. Okay, and you're gonna see basically we're gonna use this state variable inside our PhotosPicker view. Okay, so at a minimum, PhotosPicker actually takes a selection parameter, which basically expects us to pass in so it can populate that as a PhotosPicker item, whatever the item that user has picked from the Photos library. Okay, so let's go ahead and build a simple UI that will actually put the whole thing into perspective. So we're gonna start with a VStack, and I'm going to also wrap this VStack inside a navigation stack. All right, and I'm going to give this a navigation title, DevTechie Photos, like that. Okay, and inside the VStack, we're going to have an image, and this is basically going to represent a placeholder image. So we're going to simply use photo.artFrame. Okay, this is basically just a placeholder image, and it's using SF symbol. We're going to make this a resizable, Okay, so image can take as much space as possible, and then we're gonna define a frame with width of 200 and height of 200 points. Okay, so we're gonna have 200 by 200 image. Now to make it look like this is a placeholder, we're gonna give it a foreground color of gray. And I'm gonna also set the opacity of 0.6, so make it slightly light, like grayed out. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna create our PhotosPicker. Okay, so PhotosPicker, and PhotosPicker, like I said, it takes a selection. So we're gonna say selection is gonna be selected item, and then this selected item is basically gonna get populated when user picks something. Now PhotosPicker has a trailing closure, which actually allows you to put your view, your custom view that will be displayed, and user can pick that photo by tapping on that view. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna use a label, and this label is going to have a title. So title is going to be pick photo, and then it's going to have a system image, and we're going to put that photo dot art frame as a system image. Okay, so now it makes us basically it makes it possible for us to tap on this so we can launch the photo gallery. Now that's how easy it is, basically to launch the PhotosPicker. But at this point, if I select an image, nothing is going to happen. The only thing that happens is basically dismisses the view itself. So basically, what are we doing here? So what's going on is basically you are selecting an image, and selecting an image is populating this selected item, but we have not processed that data yet. So let's go ahead and process that data. The best way to process it by observing a change on this selected item. So we're gonna attach on change modifier, and on change modifier is an observer. It can observe changes on certain objects. So we're gonna say observe changes on selected item and get the new value. Now whenever we get the new value, essentially we are going to process that, but in order to process these images, we need some way of so we need a way to store the process data that we have. So what we're going to do is we're going to create another state variable, and this is going to be state private var, and whatever the image is selected, we're going to say it's going to be a selected image. We're going to name that selected image, and let's give it a type image optional type. Okay, so now we have a way to store our processed image inside a variable, and we need a way to display this image. So what we're going to do is, instead of having this placeholder, we're going to have an if block, and we're going to say if let selected image, and whenever we have selected image, we're going to take that selected image, make it resizable, give it a frame of width of 200 and height of 200. Okay, and we're going to give this some padding as well. All right, so this is going to be when the image is there. If the image is not there, we can actually have our placeholder image displayed. Okay, so you can just have an else part as well, where if the image is not there, then display the placeholder. If the image is there, display that image. Now it's time for us to process the image itself. Now we want to run this processing asynchronously, and we will use a task block for this. Now task is basically is a unit of asynchronous work, and when we create an instance of task, we actually provide a closure that contains the work for that task that needs to be performed. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our PhotosPicker item. It stores the image in the form of transferable data. So we will use load transferable type on the new value. this guy right here, and then we're gonna actually call load transferable type, and we're gonna get the image data out and convert it into UI image, which later is gonna be converted into an image view. So it seems like there's a lot of things we need to do, but it's very simple. We're gonna simply create a task block. We're gonna say if let image data is equal to try await new value dot load transferable data of type. So we're gonna say the type is gonna be data.self. We need to actually do data.self because that's gonna return us the image data. Then once we have the image data, we're gonna actually create an image using UI image, passing image data into that, and that's gonna give us an UI image. And then we're gonna take our selected image and we're gonna populate that by using image overload, which takes a UI image, and we're gonna give our image into that. Okay, so this way what's happening is we are actually getting that image data that's coming out of the PhotosPicker item. Okay, and we are converting that basically into a UI image, and we are passing that UI image by casting it into an image view. Okay, so UI's image view. Now with this change, we have a way to see our photo that user has selected. So let's select this photo, and there we have it. We have our photo being displayed now inside the view that we created. Now photo library contains photos, live photos, videos, and all sort of stuff. What if we want to handle still images only in our app? So our app is only capable of handling still images. It doesn't know what to do with live photos, videos, and stuff like that. Well, we can take a help of another parameters in PhotosPicker called matching. Okay, so inside the PhotosPicker we have a matching, and this matching is of type PhotosPicker filter. Now it has many different types like videos, live photos, images. Not is basically do not include that. Any is include any of, and it takes an array. We're gonna see an example of that. Burst is burst, photo burst, when you actually hold the button of the camera while taking the photo, it takes multiple photos at the same time. Cinematic videos, this was for newer phones, it takes cinematic videos. Depth effect photos, panoramas, screen recording, screenshots, slow motions, time lapse, all is another special case where it takes an array of everything that you want to include. Playback style, and then you have none and some, nil, all these other values. Okay, so these are potential values that actually it takes, the matching takes. And what we're gonna do in order to test this, we're gonna actually include some videos into our simulator, and then we're gonna basically see how we can filter them out. Okay, so let me include some videos. I actually used a website called pixels.com to download some videos. Once again, the address is right here, pixels.com, and you can download videos, short videos from here, and then I'm gonna actually include that into the simulator. So let me show you. All right, so I have basically those videos downloaded in my download folder. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open the photo gallery and on the simulator and drag and drop these two videos, and two videos should appear. Okay, there we go. We have two videos that appear, and if you hold and tap, you can see these are videos, and they have this time as well. That means it's representing that these are actually playable videos rather than just the photo. Alright, this one is rather long, I haven't checked it out, but these two are actually videos. Now once we have included those, I'm not sure if this is using the same instance, so let's go ahead and launch and see. Well, this is not using the same instance, it looks like. Yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna build and run and launch this PhotosPicker once again, and this time we should see those videos included in our photo gallery. Now we want to filter these two out because we don't want to give our user a wrong impression, so actually they end up selecting that, and our app, if it does not know how to process, that's not a nice way of presenting those options that we don't know how to process. So for that reason, we're gonna simply say matching is gonna be just the images. Now images include images both for still images and live photos. So I'm simply gonna select that, and I'm gonna rerun the app, and this time around what's gonna happen is we're gonna launch the photos, and look at that, those videos are gone. If I go home and open photos, you can see those videos are still there in the library, but they're not being displayed in our app because we have filtered them out. Okay, so that's how you can actually filter them out. Now you can use, instead of using this direct, you can use any, which is very powerful. Like I said, it takes an array of filters, and we can say we want images and videos, for example, and I'm gonna launch this, and now you're gonna notice that both videos and images are gonna be back inside our PhotosPicker. Now we're gonna change that, and we're gonna say give me images but not videos. Okay, so if we do that, then we're gonna basically get just the images, not videos, which was similar to what we did last time. All right, so this is how you can actually launch a PhotosPicker. Now PhotosPicker is also capable of basically showing you multiple photos. So I'm gonna create another video, and basically in that video I'm going to show you how you can modify this example and make multiple selection photos possible for your SwiftUI apps. Okay, so once again, thank you so much for watching. Go check out www.devtechie.com and subscribe and like the video, and hit the bell button so you know when we have new video coming up and loaded and ready for you to watch. Okay, so thanks again for your support, and I'll see you guys in another video.